MYP Community Project, Chinese New Year Assembly, a sport report, and a brand new segment around the school.
Year break, the grade 8s presented their community project. We talked to Mr. Clark and the students about what the community project was.
Marvin, could you tell us exactly what is the grade 8 community project?
The community project, which is the keyword here, community, is for groups or an individual. You can choose either a group of 1, 2, or 3 to come and help a certain community in the world. Actually, there's a wide range you can choose. People will often try to find the most convenient one, whether if it's something that does not clash with the school time, or they can go there easily, so you don't have to travel to Australia or anything like that.
Marvin, what do you think was the most challenging and rewarding thing about the grade 8 community project?
I believe that the most challenging part was actually confronting the people in community project. We didn't just confront business people or the people who's working the soup kitchen, but also the homeless people. So it was very hard to talk to them, but eventually we as an entire team had to talk to them and to ask them, interview them. That was the challenging part. For the rewarding part, it was the entire experience of it. I actually have never done this my whole life. This was my first time going out with my friends outside to help a community, and to even spend a night with them. It was really good to understand how the homeless people, how they live their life. It was rewarding to even experience like this, because not in my old school, or I'm not sure in any other school that I could ever experience helping this community with friends. Yeah.
Thank you, Marvin, for sharing your ideas with us about the grade 8 community.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
So here is Mr. Clark, the MYP coordinator. So, Mr. Clark, how do you think the MYP community project went?
I think it went really, really well this year. This is the 3rd time that we've done the community project, and every year it just keeps getting better and better and better. They worked with tons of different communities, and they did some really great service projects this year. I'm really proud of them.
Thank you, Mr. Clark, for sharing with us the idea of MYP project community.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Chinese New Year is a very big celebration in Malaysia. Last semester, IGBTV celebrated Chinese New Year by hosting an assembly. We talked to Mrs. Kim about the Chinese New Year assembly.
Chinese New Year is important to IGBTV.
Okay, the question was why Chinese New Year is important in IGBTV, yeah? So I think it's just the Chinese New Year celebration kind of celebrates different culture, Chinese culture from around the world. Even though a lot of Chinese people around the world, they celebrate Chinese New Year, but they have different traditions and customs. So that's why we kind of want to explore like a diversity from different Chinese cultural background. Yeah.
Can you tell us about the Chinese New Year assembly?
You mean this year, right? So this year our theme is Chinese, like from mainland, actually Chinese ethnicity, which means there are like 56 Chinese ethnic groups in mainland China, and then we want to kind of promote different cultural background and the diversity from mainland China.
How was it different to last year?
Yeah, it was actually there are similarities and differences between this year and last year. We tried to introduce a little bit of Chinese literature to the whole school. And this year, we kind of used different Chinese ethnic groups. So that's why how it was different. But still, there are a lot of similarities.
How many students participated and what grade are they from?
I cannot really remember exactly how many students, but we try to include as many students as possible, especially for learning Chinese and in IGBIS. So for me, especially celebrating Chinese New Year in Malaysia is quite different because there are so many different Chinese groups around Malaysia, and then the way they celebrate is quite different. So I found it is very interesting in Malaysia. Thank you.
This is Sanan from IGBIS.
All right.
Now a word from our sponsor.
Do you like football? Then please come and join the girls' football team. Ask Miss Deb.
This week at IGBTV, we're introducing a new thing. It's called IGB Out and About. This is where we ask students and teachers their opinions about new things around the school. This week we did the new changes to the library.
About the library changes.
Well, I really like the library because now they have more books and the library has a bigger space and we can enjoy the library more.
Here about the change of libraries. The secondary was noisy. And we have much space. Thank you.
What do you think for the change of the library?
Okay, I think this library is much nicer than before. Before we moved the library up here, this was an open, empty space, and people used it for meetings and to practice dances and things like that in. But it's really supposed to be a library. So when we moved everything up here, it's doing what it's supposed to do. There are people here who are working, who like the space. There are people borrowing more books. There are people talking and working and having fun with their friends here, and that's excellent. So I like it a lot better. I also think it's a very beautiful space because it's got the colours on the back of the shelves, the way it's arranged. I think it's great. Thank you for asking.
Think about the changes to the library. Well, it's a bit harder to find books, but it's good. We have more
So can you tell us about what's been happening this past few weeks for sports?
I can. It's been a really busy few weeks for IGBIS athletics. On February 7th, we hosted a track friendly for secondary students. We had 5 other schools and over 120 students turn up, where the focus was on development and coaching and having a good time. Then on the 9th, we had our under 18 boys and girls teams travel to Singapore for the SIFA basketball competition. In a really tough competition, our boys and girls did really well and have developed and improved a lot. Whilst we didn't win many games down there, our teams were very competitive. Last Wednesday, we also hosted U13 and U15 basketball friendlies for the girls. And we also, as part of that, had a free throw contest at the end, which was a lot of fun.
What's a free throw contest?
Well, we had Help, which was our visiting school. They had brought 2 teams, and we had 2 teams, and each team selected 1 player, and they would take as many shots as they possibly could in 1 minute from the free throw line, and then we would tally up both players' scores and see which team was the winner.
Interesting. So, thank you.
Not a problem. Go Phoenix.
Under 9 girls and boys soccer teams travel for their tournament. They had lots of fun and the girls even won a treat.
Members joining IGBTV.
Hi,
I'm Natsumi. Hi, I'm Jen.
Hello, I'm Sheree.
Hi, I'm Ella.
Hi, I'm Isha.
Hi, I'm Ziyi.
Do you like football? Then please come and join the girls' football team. Ask Miss Deb.
Spoke again to Mr. Bartle, this time to get the IGBIS. Blah.